It's time SXM presents a grand fundraising raffle taking place on Sunday, May 28th. The grand fundraising raffle. Get your tickets now for only $10. The first prize is a 55-inch smart TV. Second prize, a hotel weekend stay. Third prize, a Samsung phone. And the fourth prize, a 100 Gilda shopping voucher courtesy of Carrefour. It's going down on Sunday, May 28th. The fundraising raffle. Tickets available for only $10. Proceeds will go towards a back-to-school program.
Purchase your tickets at Creative Juices or from any of the members. Call 556-5181 or 523-8272.
It's time SXM.
Alrighty, welcome back to our interview segment right here on the Late Night Show. Of course, today I am joined by, I don't know, which title do I give him, you know? He got so much titles. Do I say just lawman or a justice worker? Or do I say a unionist? Advisor, like I don't know which one it is. How are you doing, sir? Lyndon Lewis.
I'm doing great.
Lyndon, let me jump in right into with the situation with the police officers slash justice workers. Of course, the union is being sidelined, and the reason why I'm saying that is because the minister's door is open, and it looks like they have some officers or some members that are knocking and taking the opportunity to meet and talk about their personal situation instead of a group type of thing. Is the union being sidelined?
In reality, it seems so.
Yeah.
As the minister can have the one-to-one conversation with the employees. As of today itself, I learned that she did have a meeting with some of the officers that started, I think, in 2012 and some later on, I think, 2015, with regards to their retroactive payments, etc. And the explanation of the calculations. Mm-hmm. Okay, that was done today. I've got that information. But in overall check, remember, it's just not those officers that needs to get paid.
Yeah.
Okay. I personally myself haven't received my placement letter yet. I'm still waiting for my placement letter. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, let's just go into it as you were saying. If they're being sidelined, it seems so.
It seems so. Now, of course, the union, the members, the Go Slow action. The minister's statement on Tuesday was basically a lot of fluff. It was the way that it came out was that the calculations are still ongoing. Placement letters, certain groups already received it, and everything is being worked on. That's it. Now, of course, in the background, I know that you have been working with MP Bryson to come to a solution or at least propose some type of solution so that we can get these justice workers some of their monies. Tell us a little bit about that initiative.
Basically, MP Bryson approached me and a few of us, MP Arundel and Miss Hayden Fain, pertaining to the matter, seeing that we all have enforcement law background, and of course knowing who I am with regards to the union and also my personal representation of my colleagues. However, it's basically we are about being solution oriented. So not that that we're just gonna say, okay, the minister didn't do this or this is not correct. Listen, how can we move past the mistakes, the errors, and how can we get it done? How can we get the matter resolved? So we brainstormed on it. I came up with my ideas along with the panel, the colleagues, MP Bryson, and I brought basically the laws that was there and also the unsigned law that was also there that was set as precedent. Mm-hmm. Meaning right now, if we talk about the overtime issue, where officers are getting basically 750 guilders for amount of hours, I think 40 hours in overtime or 1,000 guilders, which is wrong because according to the minister, she wants to do it the right way. But we have something called President Skeppen. So once you skep President, you have to continue with it because it's in the best interest of the employees. Mm-hmm. So by repealing that decision to give 750 and 1,000 guilders in overtime for hard-working police officers who have no choice but to work more than that is how you say it in French they would say it's bizarre. It's it is basically not in favor of the colleagues, because if we're talking about moving forward as a country, and the Justice Ministry is also supposed to move forward, that means you cannot go backwards. Okay, so if there were toelages, if there were allowances that is more than what was given before, we have to continue with that because precedence was already set. So we're trying to repeal that right now for the initiative, because we cannot repeal it. The Minister of Justice, who has the power to do so, is that that you're readjusted back to the two-lager system based on a 150% for regular days and 200% based on your off days and on holidays once they work. The discussions are still ongoing. Listen, we would like this to be back into permanent effect. Yes, we can say it for Carnival, but we don't want to look like, okay, we basically taking hush money.
Yeah.
You know, because she's going to allow us tomorrow to work Carnival and get paid overtime on it. That's not the issue at hand. We're talking about the 13-year issue we want resolved, and we want it resolved now. Yeah,
and that's why I was just about to go with 13 years. And that is just one of the proposals, or they have more?
No, the other proposals is also basically to amend Article 23, which has to do with the overtime. Also, the placement letters, which was discussed, and I personally say it, and I will say it publicly as well. The placement letters basically has no legal merit. Okay, I explained how it was done in the past with the Executive Council, and now you have someone signing on behalf of a placement committee. With respect, the Minister of Justice is the authorized authority for placements. Okay, this also goes in conjunction with the governor, of course, because he represents the king. But the minister gives her advice, or de voorgedragen informatie, the information that has to be brought over to the governor, is based that the minister, as the authorized person of her ministry, is who's going to place these people, or this is basically her draft of how she's going to place each other. The offer letters basically should be coming from your minister, on behalf of the government of St. Martin, signed by the minister or whoever is appointed to sign these offer letters on behalf of the government, but not on behalf of a committee. If you do have a problem with your placement, what needed to be set up was a committee that is going to, the placement committee is going to hear you tomorrow based on your appeal, and then they're going to make the final minutes. They're going to come together, deliberate on it, and make a decision whether it's in your favor or not, and advise the minister accordingly. If it's not in your favor, tomorrow the document comes out as a national decree, and you have the rights to appeal it.
To appeal, yeah.
Now we're saying, because I'm learning that some people agree, some people don't agree.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, the minister has to make the ultimate decision, if she's going to place these people according to what is given right now. Hence the reason you cannot just go ahead with those who agree.
Yeah, because I was going to go there, because I was going to say that it's more of a divide and conquer type of tactic, whereby they have certain groups that just want to get it over with, and they would just accept anything and go like, okay, you know what? Okay, I'll take it. And then of course, then it affects other persons maybe in the same position, but they don't agree necessarily with the other person's stance on the position. This is why you need a full scope.
Some people are basically watching the remuneration aspect. So if they were collecting 2,000 guilders before, now they're seeing 4,000 guilders. Oh, my salary gone up. I'm going to accept this. I just want to move forward. This is not the idea. The idea is you have to see the authentication of the document itself, if it has legal consequences. The document itself tells you it does not give you any legal rights at all. It tells you that it does not give you the rights even to appeal, but only to give incorrection information that needs to be corrected if a figure is different or whatever. Also, it is made up naar het burgerlijke wet. So I think it's according to the civil code. This document is made up, and you're dealing with people, landsambtenaren, you're dealing with civil servants. You're dealing with civil servants who has their own rechtspositie. Also, the document also implies on CLA or rechtspositie that is not signed off as yet. It is not publicized, or function books are not publicized or in its work. It is not brought into life. But guess what? St. Martin is a country. And before becoming a country, we already had laws. So if you're going to say that the applicable laws for the police is falls within the realm of the KPSM Rechtspositie, which isn't in the works as yet, because every landsbesluit, every national decree that every officer got from 10 to now says clearly with reference to the Corps Police of the Netherlands Antilles.
Yeah.
Publication 80 in 2000, because this go back from the year 2000, so that book was issued then. So we have to continue using that, and I'm gonna emphasize on it. We have to continue using that book until a new one is in life, is brought into life. And that is what we have a problem with right now, is that precedence was set already in the interest of the people. The minister basically repealed it, which is not in the interest of the people, because, like I'm saying, we are supposed to go forward and not backward.
All right, Lyndon, before we go, I need you to, again, stress to, the people of St. Martin, especially with Carnival coming up. But at the same time, the work continues, however, it's on a go slow. But I need you to stress to the officers who, maybe feel that the union isn't representing them right, so they just want to take their business into their own hands, how it can affect the whole group.
I want to explain to the entire justice ministry that is going through this. I'm a police by profession, but this is the entire Ministry of Justice. We have to keep the faith, number one. Number two, we've had enough. Number three, we have a Minister of Justice that shows no empathy. That's her demeanor. Number four, at the end of the day, I would not want to see this minister fired because of one reason. We want the continuation of this service. We don't need a new minister at this moment who is going to say, oh, I have to check everything over because I was not here before. My predecessor, I don't know what all they do. There's no formal sluitel overdracht, etc. So, to the people of St. Martin, to my colleagues, I'm basically telling them, listen, we still have to, the slowdown is not a strike. Okay, law and order is still in place. Let's have a little faith more. Let's give the minister the benefit of the doubt that she's going to get it done. Minister, we don't have time for politics. We have time that you're going to do the people's work, and the people is going to love you for it. The colleagues are very disgruntled with their unions, but have to also bear in mind that the same union representatives that we have today are also colleagues. Many also feel threatened that their job is also on the line. I can understand their standpoint when you have a minister who have gotten rid of most people within the justice ministry in top ranks, or also that she was also used to get rid of those who are also subordination of department heads. This is public information. A lot of people know about these things. I don't fear it, as it was already done with me. The minister doesn't know me personally, but of course, based on what department heads would say, they will attack you. But we are on the last tranche of getting this together. Proposals was given to the minister. The minister has that, that key in her hand to open that door and make things happen on behalf of the people of St. Martin. When I say the people of St. Martin, the safety and security lies within the police force, lies within the prison, lies within customs, lies within immigration and the Coast Guard, etc. So the minister has to know, and her team has to know, listen, we have to do our due diligence, because based on everything that I've heard the minister said, is she wants to do it the right way. And to read such a document that basically gives you no type of rights, it is something that I find out of place. It's against all, the behoorlijkheid van bestuur. Trying to say, for good governance. These are the things that the minister has to look at. I do not know who her advisors really are in this thing, but I believe most of them come from the private sector that are making notions or decisions or advice based on what they know based on labor laws. You have to know the police chain of command. You have to know the Rex Positie from the prison, the customs, and make amendments. Simple things where you're going to have on a schema. You have it there on a group that's telling people, these are your function names, for example, but then the tick box say, in een ongewijzigde functie. How can you say that function isn't changed?
Yeah.
The names are clearly there and they are changed. Second of all, we have different terms that we use for civil servants. You don't use the term onbepaalde tijd. Onbepaalde tijd means permanent, yes, but permanent for those who are on contracts.
Yeah.
A civil servant has a national degree. There's tijdelijke dienst, temporary service, or vaste dienst, a permanent service.
That's it.
Those are the terms that needs to be used. So I believe all the letters normally are supposed to be repealed because they are not legal. That's my opinion, and that's the opinion of the law. It's not legal. But of course, if the salaries seems to be okay, everybody wants the money, we want to push it. And I also give different, if the governor's not signing, I also give an advice on how we can get these officers paid as well. Okay, the Council of Ministers can come together and say, listen, our people need to be paid. The Council of Ministers can make that decision and have the letters them drafted that also indicate that you have 30 days to appeal. Send these letters with the salaries, the future salaries that are supposed to be given. Once the Council of Ministers agrees to it, the Minister of Justice is mandated to do what she has to do and sign on behalf of the government of St. Martin, Ministry of Justice. It is sent to salary and wages, and each individual will be paid.
Okay, let's hope that the minister takes the advice. Thank you so much for coming, Mr. Lewis. Of course, keep the faith.
Yes, I am. 16 years.
16 years. All right, we'll be right back watching Late Night.